I know I'm on this channel all the time talking about how amazing it is to live in Georgia and sharing all of the different places that I think are the best options for you. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I'm Ashley Lazarian, a Georgia native and local real estate agent, and I cover what life is like here in Georgia. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more content like that. Before you move anywhere, it's important you get your facts straight. So today's video is 100% about making sure you know everything there is to know about Georgia, the good and the bad, so that way you can make an assessment of, is this really where you want to live? Part of me regrets staying in Georgia. I've lived here my entire life and I'm very comfortable in my little bubble. I would be lying if I didn't say that I don't think about what it would be like to live life and experience things in another part of the country or even the world. That being said, I love how convenient Georgia's location is. My little family and I often take weekend trips, and we've gone to Charleston, Asheville, Nashville, Gatlinburg, Savannah, the Gulf, and I could pretty much be anywhere in the Southeast within about 5 hours or less. Traffic here is ridiculous. It doesn't really matter what time of day. If you think it's going to take you about 20 minutes to get somewhere, go ahead and add about 10 to 15 minutes to that. Commuting can be an absolute nightmare, and it can take up a huge chunk of your day. Georgia DOT has been widening roads for what feels like a decade or more, and it doesn't really feel like they're wrapping up anytime soon. If anything, it feels like they're just making a bigger and bigger mess. I know, those of you that I've talked to from New York and California, you laugh at me when I talk about traffic. So clearly we all know I would not cut it in those environments. It's not just the highways though. I just don't think Georgia was really prepared with their infrastructure, with the masses of people that we had moved to Georgia. I don't like talking about politics, and I'm not really here to discuss one side or the other. But this is a question that you guys ask a lot when you call in, and so I want to make sure that we discuss it. That way you're making an informed decision with all of the facts about the location you're thinking about putting down. According to CBS News, 49.2% of people in Georgia live in a household with guns. Now, don't get me wrong, just because gun ownership is higher here in Georgia, that doesn't mean that you're gonna see every man and woman toting a gun on their hip. A lot of people just feel that they wanna have them in their home to protect their family. But if having guns around is something that makes you nervous, this is definitely something for you to consider. The cost of living is something that has always attracted people to Georgia. However, recently, the cost of living has continued to go up in Georgia, especially over the last couple of years. It's not just with housing, it's with groceries, with gas. Just a couple of years ago, you could move here and get a 2,000 square foot house for around $300,000. Unfortunately, that's just not the case anymore. The average home price in the state of Georgia is around $400,000. And if you want me to break it down and be honest, you're probably closer to around $500,000 if you're looking in some of the suburbs around Atlanta. One of the #1 places that you guys call in about is Alpharetta, probably one of the most expensive places other than Milton, which sits right next to Alpharetta, where the average home sales price is around $750,000. That being said, compare that to many states across the country, and Georgia is still incredibly affordable. The city of Atlanta has always been a melting pot of different cultures. And over time, especially over the last few years, as we've had many transplants come and move to the state of Georgia, a lot of the suburbs around have also become melting pots. Now, that being said, you're gonna get people that love it, and you're gonna get people that don't. You'll notice in the suburbs around the city, each little suburb is starting to kind of create a mini city, if you will. There's more condos, townhomes, multifamily living, if you will, to allow for the influx of people that Georgia has had. We're getting that live, work, play vibe in each little suburb. That being said, the population here in Georgia has increased, which also translates to packed schools and traffic. Some of the local elementary schools around the area have included language into their programs. Kids starting in kindergarten can actually choose if they want to take the language program, where they'll actually begin being immersed fully into Mandarin or Spanish from kindergarten all the way through 5th grade. The job market here in Georgia has really drawn a lot of people in. It's extremely diverse. We've got everything from a booming tech scene in Atlanta and a lot of the suburbs. There's the entertainment industry, not to mention the manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, retail. It means there are job opportunities on almost every corner. Being an entrepreneur, I love the fact that Georgia is so supportive of that. But I love the fact that there's so many co-working spaces. In every city, you're gonna have at least one or two little co-working spots where you can pop in and work for the day. Some of them even have little offices, 5x5 or 10x15, that you can rent on a month-to-month basis. A lot of people have asked why so many companies have come to Georgia, and it really comes down to the tax benefits that Georgia offers them. Now, obviously, I've never lived anywhere else but Georgia. I've always wondered, are allergies like this in other locations? Allergies here are awful. In the spring, we've got pollen that's so bad you can literally wipe your finger across your hood and have it turn a different color. In the fall, you've got ragweed, your eyes are swollen, your nose is swollen, your face looks like you've just been crying for days, and in reality, you've just walked outside. But is it any different anywhere else? I would like to think so. If I'm being honest, I love where I live. I definitely think that these are things that you need to know, because if you're thinking about putting down roots in a new location, you want to have all of the facts. I hope that this helped you, and I feel like if you can deal with any of the things that we discussed today, Georgia would be a great place for you to call home. I help people relocate from all over the country, within Georgia, and even across the pond. I'd love to talk with you further, dive deeper. Give me a call, my information's below, or you can email me at ashley@myhaventeam.com. Until then, I'll see you next week.